I'm sitting down with senior ballistician Jaden Quinlan, and today we're talking about the brand new 22 ARC in comparison to the 224 Valkyrie. Now, on paper, the 224 Valkyrie looks like it's quite comparable to the 22 ARC, but I know it's a lot more nuanced than that. Tell us some of the differences between the 22 ARC and the 224 Valkyrie.
Sure. Well, like you said, just looking at them or on paper, they kind of look fairly similarly. A large capacity case for that small, fitting in an AR-15 platform. But you're right. The little nuanced differences make huge performance differences. The 224 Valkyrie is based off of a 6.8 case. The 22 ARC is based off of a 6.5 Grendel case. So you have a little bit more capacity, a little more horsepower within the 22 ARC case. But there's a bunch of differences, chamber-wise, dimension-wise, a lot of those things that really lend to the performance differences that you see between both cartridges.
Awesome. And we're shooting very similar weight bullets, but again, although on paper the bullet weights are similar or the same in some cases, the downrange performance is quite different. And let's start with the 62 grain V-match load with the brand new VT bullet. That's a 62 grain bullet at 3,300 feet per second from the muzzle. Now the Valkyrie in Varmint Express features a 60 grain bullet at also 3,300 feet per second from the muzzle. But downrange, what's the difference?
Oh, huge differences. A lot of folks will hear, it's a 62 grain bullet versus a 60 grain. And, legacy bullet design would tell you there's probably not a whole lot of difference between those two bullets. But there's huge differences. That new VT bullet just breaks the mold on, conventional bullet design per bullet weight or bullet length. And, ballistic coefficient wise, you're talking an advantage of, 100 points or more with the 62 grain bullet versus that 60 that's used in the 224 Valkyrie. And those aerodynamics are going to result in way more retained velocity downrange, flatter trajectories, less wind deflection. I mean, all the benefits that we're looking for when shooting at any sort of distances, the 22 ARC has it with that VT bullet.
Awesome. Yeah, like you mentioned, you get all of those drag characteristics that you want that normally you have to shoot a 75 grain bullet, for example, to get those characteristics, but now you've got them in a 62 grain bullet. It's just win-win.
That's right. Yeah, you're maintaining that high velocity because of the lighter grain weight bullet, but you're exactly right. You're getting that traditionally heavy weight bullet shape drag.
Awesome. Well, moving into our black line, now both bullets in the 224 Valkyrie and the 22 ARC weigh 75 grains, but that is about where the similarities end. Tell us about the black load.
Right. The black load is going to use the 75 grain eld-vt match bullet, which of the 75 grain bullets out there, that thing it dominates. Like no other bullet will touch it in that grain class. And even the heavier bullets that are available, that 75 is really a sweet spot balance point of aerodynamics and bullet weight. It should be a great all-around performer.
Awesome. And in the 224 Valkyrie, we're using the 75 grain boat tail hollow point load. Now that bullet designed to fit and work in traditional 223 Remington chambers with a 1-in-9 twist. Well, the 75 grain eld match in the ARC load, really long ogive, really long boat tail, really optimized for this new chamber design, these new twist rates, and it really is a home run. Now moving over to our last option is the match load. Now this features the 88 grain eld match bullet. It's the same bullet between the Valkyrie and the 22 ARC. So how do those compare?
Well, this is a great comparison of the two, being that you're using the same bullet like you mentioned. And the advantage falls to the 22 ARC. Those little nuances we talked about the little bit more powder capacity, a little more horsepower. Although the 22 ARC operates at a lower pressure, maximum pressure than the 224 Valkyrie, it still has a distinct velocity advantage. So when you launch the same projectile out of both of those platforms, the 22 ARC just wins out because it has more velocity.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video on the 22 ARC. Now we're releasing a host of videos about the 22 ARC, but if you'd like a long-form technical deep dive, check out the Hornady podcast. For more information on all the 2024 new products, you can check those out at Hornady.com.